Alright, what is up everyone? It is Friday, December 29th, I think, and I'm on my winter break. We don't have too long of a winter break, unfortunately. Started, I guess, like this past Saturday, and then we basically have the week between Christmas and New Year's off, and then we have to go back next week on Tuesday. But I took a few days off of filming just to kind of enjoy the holidays, see my family, friends, but I am going up to Rhode Island and Boston this weekend, so I thought I would vlog it. So going back to last Friday, I had an ER shift, just stayed the night in New Jersey, and then came home on Saturday. Didn't get home till kind of late Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday were kind of crazy. It was, you know, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I was doing a lot to prepare, help my family with food and everything. Didn't really get any studying done, but it was obviously great to see everyone. Talk a little bit about my experience in rotations. You know, last time I saw everyone was Thanksgiving, which was like right before we started, so it was nice to catch up on people, tell everyone what I've been doing, how I've been enjoying everything. And then Tuesday and Wednesday was just kind of relaxing and doing a little bit of studying here and there, catching up on some research and some UWorld. And then yesterday, Thursday, was very fun. I got to see my friend Noah. We went to Annapolis, went to my favorite restaurant, Preserve. It was his first time there, so that was nice to show him that. Then we went and met up with some of his friends around where he's from, and we played pickleball. First time ever playing pickleball. It's funny, like my mom and grandmother are super into it, but it was my first time, and I really enjoyed it. I have tried tennis a few times many years ago, and it was not very good. And I'm also like not very good at ping pong either, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be terrible at this because it's kind of like in between the two. But I wasn't half bad considering it was my first time, so definitely open to playing it again. It's, you know, sort of very hot sport right now. A lot of my classmates have gotten into it, so who knows. It was a good workout, good time overall. So that was yesterday. Today, Friday, I am driving up to Rhode Island to Mackenzie's family's house. It's gonna be quite the drive. It's gonna be like 7 hours long. Thankfully, doesn't seem like there's too much holiday traffic, which is very nice. So the plan is to just hang out for a few days, see her family. I think we're going to their favorite Chinese restaurant tonight. It's pretty funny. They absolutely love this place. Anytime we've gotten Chinese in New Jersey, it's like never up to par to this place, so there's a lot of hype around it. I'm excited to try it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I will check in sometime in Rhode Island. Alright, so it is Sunday morning. Me and Mackenzie are about to head out to travel to Boston. We are driving to Providence, Rhode Island, which is where Mackenzie went to school. So we're gonna leave our car there, take a train from Providence to Boston, which should only take a little over an hour, so really isn't that bad. I was a little surprised about how close Boston is to Rhode Island. I guess I need to brush up on my New England geography. So the past few days in Rhode Island, I got here late Friday. We went to the Chinese restaurant. It was amazing, by far the best Chinese I've ever had. So I understand why your family loves it so much and why other places don't really stack up. So that was Friday. We went home, watched the final Harry Potter movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2, while me and Mackenzie were studying. Then Saturday, just kind of hung around the house. We went and hung out with her grandmother a little bit at her place. Her grandmother is sort of a family seamstress. She sort of alters everyone's clothes when they need to, so Mackenzie has a bunch of business casual stuff from Christmas and all that, because we need to be wearing more business casual now that we're in clinical rotation, so she's been having her alter it a little bit. So that was Saturday morning. We also went and grabbed coffee at one really good place by her. Always been really impressed by it. Then we went and drank our coffee on the beach, which was so nice. It's very great that she lives so close to the beach. We actually live pretty close to the beach in New Jersey. We just haven't ventured out to it because, you know, it's the winter. But thankfully it was like a 55-degree day, so still chilly to be on the beach, but you know, not like 30 degrees like it normally is in December. So that was great. Came home, just did a lot of work. We were debating going up to Boston yesterday just to like have more time there, but by the time we would have actually gotten everything done, packed, gotten to Providence, gotten to Boston, it would have been pretty late. So we decided just to stay all of Saturday, try to be as productive as possible, because we know that we weren't going to do any work today, Sunday, or probably any Monday. So yeah, that's about where we are. So like I said, we're going to Boston. A bunch of Mackenzie's friends from college live there. We're just going over to their house. They're hosting a party, so that's nice. Don't have to go out and spend, you know, $100 for a ticket to some event at a bar or anything like that. I'm excited to go to Boston. I've never been, actually, and I don't really know many people who live there. One of my coworkers from college, I don't know if he still lives there. I know he lived there for a period of time, but other than that, that's pretty much it. So I don't really know too much about the city of Boston, but I think it's gonna be a good opportunity for me to see the city, especially because it's likely that I'll apply there for residency. You know, I go to school in the Northeast, and it's pretty common to stay sort of in the same geographic region for residency than you went to for medical school. Usually you just have like more connections there. It might be easier to do an away rotation in the same area instead of, you know, flying halfway across the country. It's a big city, so that just means there will be a lot of programs there. So yeah, I mean, I will probably end up applying to a bunch of different residencies all across the country. So, you know, it's pretty likely that some programs will be in the Boston area. And another thing that, you know, might be changing in the next few years is a lot of residency interviews are still virtual. So it's hard to get a sense of the city and the, you know, hospital and area if you have an interview someplace that you've never been to. That's, I guess, one excuse to do some traveling while you're in medical school, to, you know, places that you've never been before, because who knows, maybe you apply to residency there, you get an interview, and you want to know, like, hey, is this a city that I would like to live in for 3+ years? All right, well, that is it for right now. I will check in Boston. Alright, so it is Monday, January 1st, 2024, and I'm back in New Jersey after my trip to Rhode Island and Boston. So this morning, Mackenzie and I got up pretty early, considering how late we went to bed. We got up around 9 and headed to the train station to catch a train from Boston back to Rhode Island. We drove from Providence back to her house, packed up, and then came all the way back home. So it's been a pretty long day of traveling and I'm exhausted. Boston was pretty good. Honestly, it was a lot quieter than most cities that I've really ever been to. You know, the two cities that I've been to the most are New York and DC. New York is just insane. DC was closer to Boston, but I don't know if it was just because of the holiday or it's, you know, winter, it's really cold, but
when we got there Sunday morning, there were a lot of like restaurants, coffee shops and stuff that were closed. You know, when we got in, we wanted to find some coffee, sit down, maybe do a little work, and it was kind of a struggle to find a place, but we finally found a really nice coffee shop called, I think, Tradesman, and like honestly one of the better coffee shops I've ever been to. I just really liked the atmosphere there. It was sort of old-timey. They had really good food, really good pastries. We had a tiramisu croissant, which was a little overpriced, but it was very, very good. So we kind of just sat down and worked for a few hours. Unfortunately, even on vacation, we have to study a little bit. I know, previously in the week where, it was Christmas and, just visiting family, we really didn't have a lot of time to study. So we took that opportunity to catch up a little bit. So yeah, we stayed there a few hours, got some work done, and then we went to Faneuil Hall. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but basically this nice sort of indoor-outdoor market and food court, I guess is one way to put it. It's just this pretty famous area of Boston where there's a bunch of shops. There's literally a food hall with a bunch of different vendors. So we got there, walked through, saw sort of all the options of everything. Couldn't really make a decision right then, so we shopped a little and then came back, got some pizza, and then we were pretty tired from like lugging around our bags all day and sort of walking all throughout Boston with them, so we definitely wanted to sit down for a while, and thankfully the Sam Adams tap room was right there, so we went in, sat down, got some beers, and watched football, which was pretty great. It was nice because that tap room has beers that are kind of exclusive, like you can't get them in bottles or cans or anything, so got to try a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, we just kind of hung out there until it was time for us to go over to Mackenzie's friend's place. So we headed out around like 3:30, I think, and we pretty much walked around Boston the whole time, instead of like taking Ubers or doing subway or buses. Mostly I think just to like see more of the city. Mackenzie's been there a few times. It's my first time ever, so I wanted to make sure I got like the best sense of Boston that I could, because we weren't there for a very long time, and Boston is one of the big northeast cities. It's a good chance that I'll be applying to residency there. There's a bunch of different really great hospitals up there, so I wanted to get the best sense of the city, so that's why we kind of walked everywhere. So once we got to her friend's place, we had dinner. They had like a secret Santa gift exchange thing, so we did that. And then more people started to come over. Stayed up way too late. As I mentioned, we didn't get too much sleep. And then got up this morning and came home. Honestly, the walk place to the train station this morning really woke me up. It's pretty chilly up there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Back in New Jersey now, trying to get things together for this upcoming week. This week I'm actually on my elective week, so in internal medicine it's an 8-week rotation, but one of the weeks you get to pick an elective. For whatever reason, the hospital that I'm at doesn't have a lot of options for your elective. It's just cardiology, infectious disease, and endocrinology. I picked endo just because I feel like, the biggest thing that they deal with is diabetes, and diabetes it's something that you really need to know how to manage well and understand like the signs and symptoms of it, so you can identify someone who might be like presenting for the first time. Also just sort of counseling patients on diabetes, all of the things that they have to look out for, the diet, the exercise, all of the long-term complications of the disease. That was, I think, one of the biggest things that I was really surprised to learn in medical school, is all of the long-term complications of diabetes. Even in undergrad, I did my thesis on diabetes. It was, a lot more about like the biochemical pathways and how they're related to exercise. It wasn't super medical, but yeah, I mean, diabetes affects pretty much every organ system we have, and it's just a lifelong disease that patients really have to adjust everything that they do. Also, I really just liked endocrinology when we were learning about it in preclinical. I think all the feedback loops just kind of make logical sense, and it's kind of interesting to realize that one hormone has effects on so many different parts of your body. So unfortunately it is a bit of a short week because today's Monday the 1st, but we're off, so I'm only gonna get 4 days of it, but I'm still excited nonetheless. All right, well, that is gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like below and subscribe if you want to see videos like this in the future. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.